Did you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am your host, June Archer. This is the Winner Circle. This is 50.com. My guest today makes her way between Mississippi and New Orleans, making her magic happen, making her music happen, making her passion and her artistry happen. Please welcome to the show, Suryah the Artist. Welcome, Suryah. How are you doing today, sis?
I'm doing great. Hola, hola, hola. Listen, I'm just so happy to be here. And yeah, man, I'm ready for a dope conversation, man. Let the
I'm
people know a little bit about me, you know what I'm saying?
absolutely. I'm super excited when you were brought to my attention by my brother AB Butler.
Shout out.
I saw a video, I listened to some music, and I said, "Yeah, bro, let's do this." I'm super excited to
Hey.
learn about artists that are doing their thing and coming from humble beginnings on their way to a meteoric rise. So for you, as I mentioned a little while ago, take me back to Mississippi and New Orleans when you started working on your craft as an artist. Tell me a little bit about those days when you started becoming an artist, or at least falling in love with music.
So June, June, I found my inspiration honestly with everything that was around me. Um I grew up in a church, so it's kind of like hard not to pick up pick up on, that type of environment. I actually started singing very, very young. At the age of 5, I actually performed, did my first show, a talent show, I would say. But I was the youngest one. But I actually was singing. I was always known for the girl with the small body with the big voice. And I actually was singing Whitney Houston, I Believe the Children Are Our Future. So honestly, for me, especially between such a rich culture between Mississippi and New Orleans, like I would say I was inspired by everything around me. I used to take my mama's CDs, her Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, the Tina Turners, you know what I'm saying? And literally just like cultivate. And it's like at a young age, I really, really understood the value. And I also grew up in being in show choir and performing arts, and so
Wow.
shout out, like, literally fame, shout out to Debbie Allen, like literally, like I really studied the craft, so I'm not new to this, I'm true to this, you know what I'm
Now I
saying?
love that because I'm a show choir kid myself, so I
Okay,
get that 100%. It's an experience like no other. If you've done it, you know exactly what we're talking about. If you
exactly.
haven't, you have no idea. Um,
You
uh,
get exposed to so much music, at a young age, and being into theater. It's like that's why even in now, I just understand like everything outside of the music that takes to make a great production and to bring the vision to life. And like I said, growing up in show choir, even from the ballad to the wardrobe, everything matter. And I have a love for art, so that's why I call myself the artist.
no, that's dope. When you're in show choir, it takes you through the full thing in terms of you're doing show tunes, you're doing ballads. There's the musicality to it. There's the choreography. So there's so many things, and you got to be in sync because you
Absolutely.
are with so many other folks. I love that. So I'm in love with you already because you get it, and
If
I
you know, you
understand it.
know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Now, you turned down a scholarship because you believed in yourself so much that you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to invest my time, my resources, and my energy in perfecting my craft. What did that mean for you to be able to stand on that?
Honestly, being completely transparent, like it felt in real time, it felt like a big disappointment. So for me, I'm out of like my family has supported me, but I would also say that my family didn't necessarily understand the bigger picture up front. So, when you're coming fresh out of high school, my parents was like, okay, what you gonna do that's gonna make some money? You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm like, well, I got this scholarship, and then this is just into the program, and once I get in, it's more opportunities. And they was like, yeah, but what you gonna do that's gonna make you some money? So I was like, I was conflicted by that, and I was just like, all right, well, let me try to appease my family, right? But it's like, once, if you're an artist, like if you're a true artist, like you can't ever stop. It's gonna follow you wherever you go. So that's kind of like, it's not that I wanted to turn the scholarship down. It's like I was trying to appease my family and the people around me. And that's why I always tell artists, like, you have to really embrace your own journey and your own truth. And it's like, even when I went, I have a bachelor's in criminal justice, and even when I went, through different things out, without, when I didn't go through the go, follow that path, it's like I found myself still finding favor as a musician. Like, I would, even as I was studying to get my bachelor's, I ended up getting favor with the dean of the school. They would ask me to sing. I was singing all in the administrative office. Like, I was singing, like, it's like, I done been in the stores, and people like, hey, ain't you that girl that? And I'm like, I'm incognito right now. And they like, nah, you that one. So it's like, even though I did turn down that scholarship, and that was very disappointing, and it was kind of a conflicting thing. And I feel like I said, a lot of us, when we go through school, it's like you try to, rationalize what is going to make sense based off of other people's perspective. But that's why you have to have a mind of your own and know, like, stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was for me. So at that moment, I thought, like, man, that's that's very disappointing. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a catalyst for me to go do it in spite of, and like I said, it followed me. It literally ran me down. Like, even, that's why I said, like, I only can just tell everybody just to stay true to yourself. And sometimes you just have to, like, it's still love and respect, but sometimes God is giving you the vision, and maybe they don't see it, you know what I'm saying? But that's why you have to, be confident in what God is showing you, and just stay true to yourself. That's what I would say.
I love that answer because I do believe if you change one thing, you change everything.
Yeah.
And you did make that tough decision, because sometimes we fall victim to those who want to see the best for us, but not understanding our dreams. And you said something really, really dope. Favor. What does favor look like? Because some people don't really understand what favor is. When you talked about just a while ago, people will say, "Oh no, you the one." Like, I like, and you're singing, and you're being recognized, and you're not even this huge celebrity yet. But favor. What does favor look like for people who don't really understand? When you stand on business, you stand on, hey, I have to do this because this is in me. I at least got to see it out because I've been blessed with this gift and this talent. What does favor look like for those who don't know and can't recognize it?
Honestly, favor is what's happening right now, me being on this platform right now. Honestly, like, it's true. It's engulfed and woven into my path, like, and it has always been. Literally, I have faced some of the most adversity, the most. I've heard a million no's, you know what I'm saying? But it was always that one yes that was supreme over all of the no's. And for me, it's just, honestly, literally, just like, the only thing I can say is really just like, as you follow my story, and as you, even as we, expound in this conversation, it's like, every time where I was faced with opposition, there was something just around the bend that was greater for
Mm.
me. And I just give all glory to God, because, like I said, even me being on this platform in its entirety, everything about this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a funny thing when, God chooses you, because your name will be in rooms before you even step foot in them. And for me, like I said, if you guys are wondering, like, what does it look like, it looks like me being on this, this interview right now with, June Archer. Like, literally, like, this is like a real life moment. And I know a lot of people get on these platforms, and they when they get asked questions, it sounds like a, kind of like like, as if they're breathing off some type of monologue. But now I'm being real and raw with y'all. Like, literally, everything thus far has been not because I made all the right decisions, or not because I even had all the right people around me, but God said, like, this is her. Like, she needs to be in this space. So for me, um, it just looks like what it is right now, just being persistent and pushing through despite all the adversity, despite, even, like, you have to understand when, not to get too deep, but you have to understand, natural and spirit. Sometimes your natural man is like, yeah, we tired, you know, and but then sometimes then, but you got to be feeding your spirit man, because your spirit man will speak up and be like, nah, but push. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but keep going. Show up anyway. You know, and that's what I have. That's what has led me. So when I had a choice to lean more into natural or spirit, I have leaned more to spirit, and that has got me in rooms and places that, you know, far exceeded, you know, my even expectations. And you know, it's gonna do nothing but continue to go and grow. But like I said, like, favor is just what it is. Like, it's despite adversity, despite the no's, despite what it looked like, despite what was rational or was logic, it's literally like the living proof of the miraculous. And things that look like they can't happen, it's like when you lean really into that faith in your spirit, like, God will show you just what he can do. And he's showing us right now, y'all.
Absolutely. I want to talk about some of those blessings and how favor pushes that forward. You have been favored in the fashion that Big Boy from Outkast has the opportunity to put you in the studio, Stankonia Studios. Talk
Absolutely.
about that blessing. How did that meeting come about?
Yeah, shout out to Big Boy. Shout out to my host. Thank you on your family. Nothing but, again, favor. I actually um was in Mississippi, and I got a random call. And it was like, hey, you know, literally this was just like a random Thursday, Wednesday or something. And I'm like, okay, I'm just chilling, whatever. And like I said, it kind of go attest back to, you know, no matter what it looks like, when God has still said yes and that you're it, then you're still it. But so um even though Mississippi is the birthplace of music, Mississippi doesn't really have such a music cultured scene in present time. So times where I would go to Atlanta or like travel to LA or something like that, it was like it would be to get more exposure, especially after you know, uh didn't take the scholarship. It was like I would still try to, you know, put myself in spaces and places that, you know, were, you know, music culture communities, right? But being in Mississippi, it felt like a no way and a damn no how. And that's where I was at when I got that call that day, y'all. And I was just sitting there, and my phone rung, and it was like, hey, I want you to send over 3 records. Big Boy want to check you out. So I was like, yeah, okay, hung up the phone. I'm like, wait a minute, Big Boy, let me call. What you said? Who did what? They was like, yeah, Big Boy from Outcast. I'm like, Big Boy, me? He was like, yeah, go ahead and send the records over right now. So I was like, all right. Sent the records over. Man, I kid you not. Within an hour, my phone rang again. Hey, he liked the records. He said, when can you come to Atlanta? I was like, oh, baby, let me go find gas money from somebody, somewhere, baby, and get it. Listen. And baby, I had to grab whatever I had and head to Atlanta. I went to Atlanta. He actually was doing a show at for Budweiser. He invited me to the show. So got to meet him at the studio first and listen to some records. He was like, you know what? I feel like I'm talking to a modern day Erica Badu. I get that a lot. I don't know. Shout out to Erica. I don't know why I keep getting that. But yeah, he was like, I feel like I'm talking to modern day Erica Badu. He was like, you know what? All we gotta do is just get her in the booth with get her in here with an engineer and just let her do whatever she wanna do. So
Mm.
I was never put with writers. I was never put with a lot of people. He literally just opened up the A room, which is, y'all know, that's the big one. That's the big boy room. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hits done been made in that room. But yeah, he just opened it up to me and just literally like let me just have at it and just cultivate whatever the stankiest sound I could come up with. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like that was consecutive on going for like 4 years, and even still now the relationship is still there. And that was literally nothing but favor. Cause if anybody know, he kind of hard on the yard, y'all.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
was the one that was definitely a one of one moment. But literally, like I said, whatever he saw, you know what I'm saying, was, I guess, moved him enough to allow me to come into his space and create. And you know, and it's all love, you know. So it's just like I can't, you know, the only thing I can say literally is God did. Like that's literally it. It is nothing. It was no, you know, paperwork. It was no huge, you know, it was literally exactly what that was. And so that's why, I have found myself being in a lot of situations that were very peculiar, but I just trusted God. I just believed, I just believed I could. Like, I didn't, because if the math was not mathing, the
Mm.
gas was not gassing, the funds was not funding, you know what I'm saying? But God, that's why literally I really truly stand on faith being a currency. If you really are aligned and you really believe enough and you really connected to God, the right source, sometimes he won't even allow you to spend your money. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally how that just kind of came about. Literally.
I I love that faith being currency piece. I think that's dope. And I also know that favor is not for the weak, because you have to show up. You still have to do the work. And it sounds
Absolutely.
like that's exactly what you did, because when those opportunities come, sometimes, we hear that story about the person who wanted help and they felt that God forsake them and he sent the boat, he sent the raft. But sometimes it don't come the way you expect it will come,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to recognize it and do what you have to do. Because sometimes those blessings, you got to work for them, right? You say you
Absolutely.
want something and it comes and looks, is packaged differently. And
Mm-hmm.
so because it's not packaged the way you saw it, you believe it's not for you. But sometimes it's for you, it's for nobody else because you asked for it. But be careful what you ask for, because when you get it, because you just might get it,
Mm-hmm.
what you gonna do with it?
Yeah,
So
and I remember even being up there and he was like, I'm gonna give you 5 beats,
mm,
5 of my beats, and I'm gonna see what you gonna do with it. Man, I got them beats.
and went crazy.
And went crazy. You know what I'm saying? I said the next day I was like, all right, I'm ready to cut. He was like, but what you mean you all of them? I said, I'm ready to cut all of them. But I come from Mississippi, New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? I come from people like shout out to Atlanta, love, but the bottom is that boot, that New Orleans, that Louisiana, that Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? That's that dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, listen, I gotta when I show up, I have a thing of like, if you gonna show up, you gotta leave everything on the table.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
I
When
love
I
that.
do show up, cause it cost me so much to get here. What other mindset am I gonna have? You know what I'm saying? What other I'm gonna treat every opportunity whether like it's that like it's the opportunity because you really never know, you know what I'm saying? Like you could be going from singing at the store for some random person, they sing, no, you don't know that you was just talking to such and such assistant or such as you just never know. But yeah, he gave me them 5 beats. I went in that studio the next day, cut all of them. He was like, she good with me. And like I said, ever since that was in 2019. You know what I'm saying? 2025, I can still pull up right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing I know I just wanted to like expound on this a little bit. Y'all, all you artists, you know what I'm saying, out there, my one of my biggest advice to you guys is cherish the relationship. Foster and
Mm,
cultivate the relationship beyond that one opportunity. Sometimes we get an opportunity presented to us and it's like we so gun hold on the opportunity turning out this way or that way or that way, and if it doesn't, then we say forget the whole relationship. You have to keep the relationship, you know what I'm saying? Because that's thinking, first of all, that's thinking, that just shows where your IQ level is. If that one opportunity is gonna make you say, oh no, I'm not gonna be with these people, or no, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just God will literally just lay something out just as a stepping stool for something else. You know what I'm saying? So always, you know what I'm saying? I pride myself on being loyal. I pride myself on being just a good person with good character and keeping those good relationships. Like I said, still to this day. And them records, I haven't even released those records. You know what I'm saying? Y'all about to see a little bit
wow.
soon. You know what I'm saying? But still to this day, I still have that relationship. I still can go into the A room and it's still love. You know what I'm saying? And that's the good thing about being a good person, not just talking about it, but really being a good person, because your character and everything is going to transcend beyond you. And so yeah, even don't think so small about just, oh, I got this one opportunity, and be so caught up on how it turned out, or even trying to force it to turn out a certain way, because maybe God is just trying to use that as a stepping stool for you to open up your mind to another perspective or another opportunity that's just, like I said, just around the bend.
Soraya, I am, wow. Wow. And for the artists that are watching and listening, I hope that you really take that and let that marinate in your soul and in your fiber of every being, because I'm telling you, uh, that was a gem. Two things, Soraya.
I'm over here preaching.
Yeah, yeah, and I love it. You are now pegged with the moniker, the songbird from the heart of the South. Songbird from the heart of the South. I think there's more to you than that, and I love that. I think it says who you are based on what I know. This is our first time meeting, and I'm so impressed. I know you said you have a bachelor's. Like, where did you get your formal education? Because I want to talk about that piece, because artists, school is not for everyone, but you need a foundation. And I can tell you have an amazing foundation. I know the story, Mississippi to New Orleans, and then making the trek to Atlanta. But for those that don't know where you went to school and what you like, tell us again what you studied. You got the bachelor's, but where did you go to school?
As in college.
Yes.
Okay, so I actually went to graduated from Faulkner University, which is a a Christian based university.
Hmm.
But way beyond that, honestly, again, I have to shout out my family because I was taught and given this perspective way before I even stepped into the schoolyard. That's why if you ask people that went to school with me, they was like, "Yeah, that's her. She what? Look, she gonna look. She been trying to save our souls for as long as she can remember." And that's what it's all about for me. But my perspective was um broadened as a child because my mom's side of the family is preachers, prophets, evangelists. My dad's side of the family, some gangsters. Let's just say that. Some real gangsters. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna keep it right there. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I understood both worlds in one. And I never was too high to go low, and I never was too low to go high. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I was always able to use that as an educational piece as I journey through life, like understanding both worlds. You know what I'm saying? Understanding, you know, because like I said, it's natural and spirit, and that might go over somebody's head, you know what I'm saying? But it really is. And when you go on this journey and you go on this pursuit, you need to understand both. And so for me, I would say, yeah, I can name a list of my elementary, middle school, and all of this, but like my real tutelage and knowledge came from what was behind the walls of my home. And my mom really like made sure, like, hey, y'all gonna learn this, and it's, again, shout out to my mom, because like even when I was doing something beyond what she could even imagine, she still just gave me what she had, and what that was core principles and core foundation. And it draws back to, like I said, your character. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be perfect, but still be pure. That went over a lot of people's head again.
It
You
sure
don't
did.
have to be perfect, but you need to be pure. You know what I'm saying? And and honestly, it's either you got it or you don't. It's either in you or you're not. So a lot of people, we like, why they ain't this, why that? But when you look back at the timeline before them, well, maybe they mamas or daddies wasn't like that. Maybe they didn't get exposed to what that really is, but I did. So that's why, like, this is not something that I have to be coached on. This is something that has been woven into me since I was a child. And I understand even the timing that we living in. And I really truly believe that God has been preserving me for this time. So that's why, you know, it's time to like let out the knowledge and let out, what it is that, not even what I'm saying. Cause even when I do interviews, to be honest, it's another thing, I don't want to be too deep, but I never know what I'm gonna say. I always say, God, speak through me. Allow the people to see you and not me. Because I'm just a vessel. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a vessel, literally just how Jesus was journeying along, just how Jesus was good in every hood. That's me too. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even about religion. It's about just being a good person. It's about using examples. Sometimes we get so caught up on the wrong things or the division, and we miss what the real gem is.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like we get caught up on trying to depict, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do that, and you done missed that God done showed up and then left, and you still trying to figure out what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said favor. And one thing about favor, in order to receive favor, you have to be connected to God.
I love it.
Literally.
I love it. I love it. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is Suryah the Artist. She got new music out. Please make sure you check it out. You can follow, you can like what she's doing. Where can they follow you and where can they check out the new music?
You guys can follow me on all social media platforms. Listen, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever y'all want to, at Suryah the artist. Again, that's Suryah the artist, and that's Soraya the artist. And man, shout out to y'all for tuning in to us. And man, this only the beginning.
It's only the beginning. But you know, before we end this broadcast, though, you just got to give me a little piece of that Whitney Houston. Just a little piece of that Whitney. Just a little bit. Don't give it too much. Just give me a little Whitney Houston real quick.
Um, should I? June. I love Whitney. I'm gonna give you a little Soraya. Is that okay?
I ain't
Is
mad.
that okay? I'm gonna give you
That's
a little
fine.
Soraya.
That's
That was
fine.
Whitney, cause only Whitney can do Whitney.
All
But
right. Give me a little Soraya.
I'm gonna give you a little Soraya.
All right.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Just get a little appetizer.
Okay. There's no love lost, but there's much love gained. Time's spent, but emotions remain the same. I should feel the pain running through my veins like my blood. Your love flow. You're the only love that I know. I can't let go. I'm too emotional. Serenade me with your love. Go on, go on. Serenade me with your love. Go on, go on. Serenade me with your love. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Suryah the Artist. This is June Archer. This is the Winner Circle. Thank you for tuning in. Like it, love it, share it. And as I always like to end, please never leave the opportunity undone to tell somebody that you love them. It may be the last opportunity you have to do so. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Peace.
Hey.
Yeah.